Welcome to our webinar today, and welcome to Elena, who is joining us today from Gomel in Belarus, from Stiltsoft. And she's going to tell us something about how to improve your team's workflow with dynamic statuses in Confluence, and very much looking forward to that. And with that, Elena, over to you and to your presentation, and we will just disappear and see you on the other side.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be with you guys. And as it has just been mentioned, I'm going to share with you how you can improve your team's workflow with dynamic statuses in Confluence. This topic was picked up not by chance, but because many of our customers love improve their workflow with the help of dynamic statuses. So with them, you can easily boost your productivity in Confluence. Okay, so let me tell a bit about myself. I'm Elena, a product manager from Stiltsoft, and I work in a distributed team responsible for several Stiltsoft apps. Some of them you probably know. Handy macros for Confluence, smart attachments for Jira, smart attachments for Confluence, and spreadsheet issue field editor. Here you can see my LinkedIn in case you'd love to check it out a bit later. And a few words about our company. Stiltsoft is a software company creating apps for Confluence, Jira, and Bitbucket. We have more than 11,000 customers all over the world, and we have lots of apps on the Atlassian marketplace with more than 10 years of experience in the Atlassian ecosystem. That's why probably we're Platinum Top Vendor and Silver Solution Partner, so you can be sure that our service will be pretty good. Here you can see some of our top-selling apps. Maybe you're using some of them right now, or maybe you've heard of some of them. They're table filter and charts for Confluence that can be used for data filtration, aggregation, and building charts and dynamic tables in Confluence. Handy macros for Confluence, which will be covered in details a bit later. It's great for making your Confluence interface interactive. Smart attachments for Jira. This app is dedicated to improve your work with attachments, categorize them, make some bulk updates, and so on. And awesome graphs for Bitbucket to track your progress while working in Bitbucket. Today, we're gonna have a look at workflow organization in Confluence and how to boost your team's productivity. The ways to visualize your data, because we all know that data without good organization can be just a mess. So it's difficult to get anything when it's not visualized properly. We'll also have a look at how to increase the speed while entering your information in Confluence, and how to ensure that all the information is consistent. We'll also cover data accuracy when you have the same information on several Confluence pages, and you want to make sure that the information is up to date everywhere and nothing is lost. We'll have a look at the ways to search data quickly and manage it. And we'll also have a look at the ways to improve your task management while working in Confluence. Because let me guess, you have maybe too many tasks on your daily list. So that's really important to boost your task management. To start with, I'm gonna speak a bit about project collaboration in Confluence and why we all love doing it. Surely, Confluence is really great for knowledge sharing, and it's a great way of having a single source of truth. We also love Confluence for Teams collaboration because we can share our experience, give feedback, and share comments with our teammates. It's great because of quite easy to manage access restrictions and limitations so that we have information distributed among teams exactly the way we want it. And of course, you can benefit a lot using integration with tools you use on your daily basis when managing projects in Confluence like Jira and Bitbucket. But surely there are some things that can drive us away. Sometimes we have too much data and it's really difficult to manage it and find what we really need right now. Sometimes we are all humans and just forget to update anything, so data can become not so consistent. And surely we have quite big pages in Confluence, and it can be time consuming to switch between the page view mode and edit mode to change just the date or maybe status. So no worries, I have a solution for that. Today, I will show you some hacks how to improve it, and they will be all created with the help of Handy Macros for Confluence. It's the app my team is responsible for. It's available for all hosting types, including data center, server, and cloud. And at the moment, we have more than 1,600 installs on the Atlassian marketplace with good rating and lots of reviews. So you can come and check it out a bit later if you want to. What our customers love about Handy Macros is that it's not just one app solving one problem. We have lots of macros which come in bulk here, and right on the slide you can see some of them like status, date, cards, button, timestamp, reminder, tip, but there are even more. So this sounds like a great benefit, so that you can choose something for really big amount of use cases. And now I'm gonna give you a short overview of a project. This is a sample project which I've created for this presentation, but many of our customers have organized something similar in their Confluence instances. So let's see what we've got. We've got just central overview page of a project with some most important data aggregated, a long list of requirements for this software project, and detailed information on each separate page for each of requirements, which is later on connected all together in a kind of an overview page with a table containing the information about all the requirements. So something pretty basic, but we have some hacks here, some techniques to improve your management of this project, and I'll cover them in details. First of all, you need to pay attention to workflow organization. You need to mind the space, structure, and navigation in your project, because many people will just use it from time to time. So you need to keep your page tree as simple and as skimmable as possible. Try to create hierarchy, not to just make a mess out of all these pages. Next, you need to pay attention to the way you visualize information. And it's really great idea to highlight the key points. Here it's done in several ways. First of all, maybe the easiest but quite effective way, it's using tables. Here you can see a native Confluence table used to highlight the information about stakeholders of the project. So it looks pretty organized and easy to find whatever you need. The other way to highlight important parts on the page is using buttons for links that really need to be noticed. And here we have a kind of an example with clickable buttons created with our macro, which is part of Handy macros for Confluence. It's called Handy button. Let's see how it's done. So you just click the button to navigate to another page of this project or any other page in your Confluence instance. In the edit mode, it can be set up in a few clicks. You just need to enter the label, the title of any Confluence internal page or external address if you need to lead your users anywhere outside the Confluence. You can also choose the way it looks on the page, like color and the width. And here you have it, just a few clicks and the button is already there. Another way to highlight the information on your Confluence page is creating page overviews. For our software project, we've created some cards leading to other pages of this project with just some basic information, kind of an overview, what can be seen on this particular page. And these overviews are also created with some of the macros from Handy macros for Confluence. It's Handy cards. Let's see how it looks. So here we have some cards, and you can click the card to navigate to the page which is set to be there. And once again, let's see what's in the edit mode. Here, you can create cards for child pages, pages by labels, or even external content if you need to. Our Handy cards are quite customizable. So in this particular case, we use the excerpt macro, which is a native Confluence macro, to show the overview of the page. And let's see how it's implemented on a source page. Here you add this excerpt macro to show what will be visible on the page. And as we create our Handy cards for pages by labels, you just need to specify the label of the page, which will appear on the central page. Another way to improve your data visual part in Confluence is keeping your pages neat and skimmable and not overloaded with information. And it's done with the help of Handy Carousel or Handy Tip macros. Both of them serve different purposes, but can be used pretty easily. Handy tip is a kind of a macro that allows you to create text on your Confluence page that appears only when you hover over the page. Let's see how it's done. So you just select the text to which you want to add some note, and then you enter the text, which will be visible on hovering over the word, and here you have it. So you can keep your pages pretty skimmable without any additional text, but include lots of information. And another part here is Handy Carousel, and it's used to add lots of images like diagrams or any schemas, whatever you need for your software project or any other use case, but not to take too much space on your Confluence page. You can create a carousel. So that's how it looks on your page. You can customize it to your liking, including the way it's positioned on the page, the ratio of side items, and the time to display each of your images. So it's up to you how to do it. And here you have it. Okay, let's move on. Another point to speak about is the speed of your data entry and consistency of your data. And you can do it with the help of native Confluence templates, labels, and our handy status and handy date. Let's see how you work with templates. I believe many of you are using them because it's a great way for you to somehow automate your daily work in case you need to create some similar information all the time, and you probably want your information and your newly created pages to be of the same standard. That's why it's a good solution for creating a new requirement while working on the list of software requirements. All that you need to do is to create a kind of a template that will be used for this project in advance, and then you add create from template button to your page. Here you specify the template to be used, and now just one click is needed to start creating a new requirement. As you can see, it consists of a table predefined with predefined values, and here you have handy status feature included. This macro allows you to create drop downs on your Confluence page, so your users won't need to manually type anything. And the same is true for our handy date. Again, you just need to pick the necessary date. By the way, both of these macros work the same way in the page view mode. And now here you have it. You can see that labels are also created, so you can search for the information that you just added. This feature with entering labels according to your status value can be switched on or switched off, or depending on your needs and Confluence. It's kind of augmentation for our handy status feature. And another point to speak about is ensuring that all your data is accurate and is not changed by chance, for example. And sometimes you need to somehow fix and log the date and time of some important events in your Confluence. And our handy time step is exactly for these cases. It helps you to log the values of date and time and ensure that they won't be changed. For example, if you need to note down the creation date of your software requirement, you insert our handy timestamp and choose one of the options which you would love to show. Maybe it will be the time when the macro was inserted, or when the page was updated for the last time. And you can also choose to show only date and time or only date, so it depends on your needs. And if you have a look at the overview page, you can see that it works properly there. Our handy timestamp is quite easy to notice on the page. So here you can see that creation date and last update date look differently because this one is created with timestamp and this one is just ordinary date, which is not logged. Okay. The next thing you need to think about is the way to reuse content in Confluence. And sometimes you need the same information to be shown on different Confluence pages. Surely you can just copy paste it, but there are some better ways to do it. First of all, you can use the page properties and page properties report macros combination, the except and except include macros and the include page macro. All of them are native Confluence macros. Maybe you're using them in your Confluence right now. And I'll show you how to boost your workflow with the help of page properties and page properties report combination in Confluence. So let's see, here we've got an overview page with the software requirements and some metadata about each of requirements, which is created with the help of page properties report. You have the label, and all you need to do is to specify this label while entering page properties report. And in this case, all the information from the pages with this particular label will be collected in one table. But there's a way to improve it even more with the help of handy status macro. Let's see what we've got. Handy status allows you to create drop-downs which can be changed in the page view mode. And when you update the information on the source page, you can see that it's changed in the overview and vice versa. So that's a kind of boosting your productivity and making everything work smooth and information to be up to date. Another feature here is I'd love to show you. Another feature here is to show the way the status has been changed recently. So you can hover over handy status, and here you can see the history of changes. You can see when and who has switched the status and the way all these values were changed. You can use it for tracking statuses and monitoring who is responsible for all changes. The same is true for Handy Date. Our Handy Date allows you to switch dates in the page view mode. So when you change the date in a table put into the page properties macro, it's changed automatically in the page properties report macro and vice versa. So you can save lots of time with your edits, and you also have all your information flow consistent in Confluence. Let's have a look at our handy status macro a bit closer. There are some key features I'd love to draw your attention to. Maybe the most vivid one is switching in the page view mode, but you can also take some benefits of status history, connection with labels. So as you've seen before, it allows to find the data, for example, all the pages in one particular status easily, and in a few clicks, you just choose the label on the page and see all pages having, for example, in progress status. Our macro allows you create custom sets of statuses. The number of them is not limited, so it's up to you how many you need. And what's great about this is that they can also be distributed among levels. For example, your Confluence admin can create global status sets. Space admins can create space status sets, and every Confluence user can create their personal status sets just to keep everyone with what they really need. So if you need 10 statuses for your own purposes, but your teammate doesn't need them, no problem. Just create your personal status sets and use them. The number of values for status sets is not limited, so you can have as many drop downs for each set as you need. And levels, as I mentioned, are different, so it's up to you on which level you can create handy status. There are many use cases for handy status, like quick data entry, especially in tables when you have lots of them on a page, ensuring data consistency in a team because mistyping won't be a problem anymore. Everyone is using the same status sets and the names of statuses are identical for everyone. Then you can automatically update your data on different Confluence pages with handy status combination with Confluence native macros like page properties or exopt include, and so on. And surely boosted search with the help of labels. Handy status is managed easily, and even unexperienced user can create their own status sets in a few minutes. I'll show you how a personal status set is created as an example. So you navigate to your settings, choose our Handy Macros app. Here you create sets that you need. You enter some status names. So, you can choose background color and text color if you like them to be something similar, something customizable, just as you wish. And here you have it. I believe it takes maybe 5 to 10 seconds. And now you can use it on your Confluence page. You enter the name of our macro, and here you have it in personal sets. You can choose to switch to outline style and synchronize the page level label with the status. You can also choose to have prefix. I'd love to stop here, maybe, so that you can see. Here you can choose label prefix if you want. This is done intentionally because sometimes you'll have in progress for many software projects, and not to search for all pages having this status, but only the ones that you need. It's a good idea to use prefix for these cases. Okay, let's move on. And once you've saved your page, you see the status, which can be switched right now in the page view mode. And the history is displayed on hovering. Here, I demonstrate you the way to have a look at all the statuses, but as we've just created it, surely there's just one, but there can be many more. And another thing to speak about is task management. It can be improved with the help of handy tasks or macro and a handy status. Let's see how you can track your progress in Confluence using these macros from Handy Macros. Here you have a list of tasks, and I've added some statuses just to track the progress of this task. And our handy status works properly with native Confluence task report as well. So you see that when you change this task status, it's changed in the task report as well, and it works vice versa. So if you need to switch the status from the report directly, then it can be done as well. This is one way you can improve your task management, and another one is handy tasks. You can see it right now on a page. Here you can click the menu of handy tasks. It's a kind of an augmentation for native Confluence tasks, so you don't need to enter a new macro on a page, but now you can see some predefined values to filter your tasks by their progress or the person who it's assigned to, and it can also show you the progress of the task. Another great thing here is that you don't need to switch to the edit mode to add a new task, so it can be available right from the page view mode. This feature can be disabled if you don't want it in your Confluence, so you don't want anyone to be able to create tasks on a page, no problem, just switch it off and it won't distract you. Okay. And having your tasks on Confluence pages is just one thing. Another is to remember about all these tasks. And here you can surely have been using native reminders for tasks, but sometimes you want this reminder to be sent in a particular moment or to a particular person, and in this case, handy reminder can be a good alternative for you. Handy reminder appears to be in a form of this alarm clock on a page, and it allows you to define when and where and how often you want to be reminded about anything on your Confluence page. A reminder can be added to any place on a page, not only to a task. So whatever you want to be reminded of is there. So it's quite customizable. You can choose to be sent notifications just once or many times, or have these reminders be sent from time to time. So it's up to you. And the reminder can also be changed from the page view mode. Here you can see all the settings again. You can change the date of your notification, the time, the period for notification, and the person who will be notified. When it's set up, your notifications will appear in your email box and in Confluence workbox. So maybe it's a great idea for those who doesn't check their emails all the time, because they'll see notifications everywhere. And the last thing I'd love to speak about is a kind of a bonus. It's a combo of our apps, Handy Macros, and Table Filter and Charts for Confluence. But this combination allows you to do almost everything with your data in form of tables in Confluence. You can filter your requirements in our particular case, search for any specific, and visualize what you've got. Let's see how it's done. You've got a long list of requirements and a software requirements overview, but why not to create a dashboard for your requirements? Here you have table filter to filter requirements by their status. So you choose statuses to be visible in this page and to be included in the report. It's up to you to sort and filter data as you wish. And after that, you have statuses created. Everything is updated automatically. So once you change the status, the table is changed the same way, and the charts are updated right on the go. As you can see, we don't copy paste the source page. We just use the except include macro to reuse this information. So once again, you do it without copy pasting and ensure that the information is consistent. So this particular macro, table filter and charts, is another maybe topic for conversation, and maybe some of my colleagues will share with you the use cases on another session. So I believe that's it. Thanks for your attention, and I'm ready to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Elena. And while I promote everybody to the panel, we have two questions in the Q&A box. First question is regarding the labeling. Do you have the functionality to remove the label automatically if a page reaches a specific status, like done?
No. We just add the label. We don't remove anything. So the page will be labeled with done, but it won't be removed.
Okay. And the second question is regarding the reminders. Can you send a notification on a particular status? So that's the first part of the question, and the second part is is automation available, for example, as a review mechanism?
No, it's not for review. Handy reminder and handy status are two separate methods. They are not connected in any way. So reminders are sound just the way you've created them. They're not connected to statuses.
Okay. Any other questions from our audience?
Yes, I have a question. So, because the presentation that you showed is for Confluence Cloud, correct? So, what's the differences for the Jira data center in comparison to cloud version?
The one that you've seen was for data center.
For data center, okay.
That wasn't cloud. We've got a feature parity objective on our Atlassian marketplace. We've got parity for our key features like statuses, dates, buttons. Because there are some differences, but the key features work exactly the same way, and we are constantly developing our cloud. It's our focus right now. So that's the way we are moving to. Okay. Thanks,
okay. Frank. Happy New Year.
Can you filter the pages with CQL for the statuses so that you can have like some searches you can share with other people to review, or what are the pages which need to be or need to get attention for checking?
You mean table filter and charts, yeah? If so, yeah, search query language is available for this app. But I believe that in details, this app can be covered by some of my colleagues because I'm not responsible for this app. I've just showed you how to work with both of them, but in details, I can speak about handy macros.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Elena, for this presentation. And thank you all for being here.